3:17 Great Pacific Ocean. The night sky over the central Pacific was silent. Far below, waves rolled endlessly across black water nearly 900 miles west of Hawaii. The region was considered secure, monitored constantly by satellites, radar networks, and U.S. Navy surveillance aircraft. Nothing entered this airspace unnoticed. At least, that was the assumption. Inside a remote radar station connected to U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, operators monitored routine aerial traffic moving across thousands of miles of ocean, cargo flights, weather patterns, naval patrol aircraft, normal activity, until suddenly, one screen flickered. 3:18. First detection. A radar technician leaned forward. "Control, I've got something." The object appeared only for a fraction of a second, then vanished. Speed reading, Mach 6. The room fell quiet. "That's impossible," another operator muttered. Nothing conventional moved that fast at low altitude. The system recalibrated. Seconds later, the contact reappeared nearly 120 miles ahead of its previous position. It wasn't flying. It was skipping through radar coverage. 03:19. Unknown. Track automated tracking software struggled to maintain lock. Altitude fluctuated violently, 70,000 feet down to 45,000, then climbing again. Trajectory unpredictable. Signature minimal. Heat emissions controlled. The supervisor spoke calmly but firmly. "Classify unknown aerial vehicle, possible hypersonic platform." That single phrase changed everything. 0321. Alert. Indo-Pacific Command. At U.S. Indo-Pacific Command headquarters, warning alerts activated instantly. Large digital maps illuminated across the operations floor. The object's projected course appeared in red, heading east, toward protected U.S. Pacific airspace, toward Hawaii. An intelligence officer whispered, "If that track holds, it crosses our defense perimeter in 6 minutes." 0323. Satellite confirmation. Space-based infrared sensors locked onto the object. Now the truth became clearer. No cockpit, no communication signal, no identification beacon, just a needle-shaped vehicle surrounded by plasma distortion caused by hypersonic velocity. Assessment updated. Unmanned hypersonic drone. Probable origin. Western Pacific Launch Corridor. China. 0324. Pentagon notification. Secure communication lines open instantly to Washington. Senior defense officials watched live telemetry feeds. Speed increased again. Mach 7. Approaching Mach 8. The drone maneuvered sharply without losing velocity, something traditional missiles struggled to achieve. This wasn't a ballistic weapon. It was maneuverable, intelligent, and collecting data. 0325. Air defense activation. Across the Pacific, American defense networks awakened. Aegis destroyers shifted radar priority. Missile defense systems recalculated interception windows. Hawaii-based early warning stations elevated readiness. The order came, prepare intercept assets. 0326. The problem, hypersonic targets changed the rules. Traditional interceptors required prediction, but this object refused predictable flight. Every few seconds it altered course slightly, testing response time, mapping radar reactions, measuring defense gaps. It wasn't attacking, it was studying. 0327. Scramble order. At Joint Base, Pearl Harbor. Hickam, alarms shattered the calm night. Pilots sprinted toward hardened shelters. 2 F-22 Raptors powered up instantly. Call signs, Viper 1. Viper 2 engines roared alive. Within moments, both aircraft launched into darkness. Mission, intercept unknown hypersonic intruder. 3:30. The drone changes course. Suddenly, the hypersonic vehicle descended sharply. Altitude dropped below 60,000 feet, closer to interceptor range. Analysts exchanged worried looks. "It's reacting to us," which meant the drone wasn't operating blindly. It was receiving real-time guidance. Someone was watching. 0332. First visual attempt. Viper 1 climbed aggressively. Sensors scanned ahead. Nothing visible. Only turbulence patterns disturbed the upper atmosphere. Then, a flash. A faint, glowing streak cutting across the sky faster than anything the pilot had ever seen. "Contact confirmed," Viper 1 transmitted. "Target speed extreme." 0333 hours. Strategic fear. Inside command centers, realization spread. If this platform carried weapons instead of sensors, reaction time would be minutes, maybe seconds. The drone had effectively penetrated U.S. Pacific airspace undetected until late tracking, and now it was approaching sensitive military zones. 0335 hours. Escalation warning. The drone accelerated again. Mach 8.5. Course now passing dangerously close to naval formations operating east of Hawaii. The commander issued a classified directive. If vehicle approaches exclusion radius, authorization pending defensive action. America was seconds away from making a historic decision. 0337 hours. Pacific engagement zone. High above the Pacific Ocean, the atmosphere itself seemed to ripple. The hypersonic drone streaked forward like a burning needle of light, its plasma envelope glowing faint orange against the darkness. Speed. Mach 9. At that velocity, reaction time no longer existed, only prediction, and prediction was exactly what the drone was designed to defeat. Inside Viper 1's F-22 cockpit, warning data streamed across the pilot's helmet display. Target distance closing rapidly, but every interception solution failed. The drone shifted altitude again. Sharp, intentional, almost mocking. 0338 hours. Command authorization. At Indo-Pacific Command, tension reached its breaking point. The operations commander stared at the projected flight path. If the drone continued another 90 miles, it would pass directly over sensitive naval communication zones supporting U.S. carrier operations. That crossed the red line. He turned toward the authorization officer, confirmed defensive posture. A pause, then the words came. Weapons release authorized if threat persists. America had officially entered engagement status. 0339 hours. The hidden response. Unknown to the drone, it was already surrounded. Hundreds of miles away, a U.S. Navy Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, the USS John Finn, activated its Aegis combat system. Massive SPY-1 radar arrays pivoted skyward. Tracking algorithms fused satellite data, airborne sensors, and fighter telemetry into a single targeting solution. For the first time, the hypersonic drone stopped confusing American defenses. The network adapted. 0340 hours, the first attempt. Viper 1, weapons free. The pilot locked the fastest available interceptor. An AIM-120 missile dropped from the Raptor's internal bay. Ignition. The missile surged upward. Guidance systems recalculated continuously, chasing the impossible target. For 3 seconds, it looked promising. Then the drone executed a violent lateral maneuver. The missile overshot instantly. Detonation harmlessly behind empty sky. Missed. 0341 hours. Shock realization. Inside command centers, analysts exchanged grim looks. Traditional air-to-air weapons were ineffective. The drone wasn't just fast, it anticipated interception geometry, artificial intelligence guidance, adaptive flight control. Someone had built a system specifically to challenge U.S. air dominance. 0342 hours. Drone behavior changes suddenly. The hypersonic vehicle slowed. Mach 9 dropped to Mach 6, then Mach 5. Pilots noticed immediately. It's loitering. The drone wasn't escaping. It was observing response tactics, recording radar frequencies, fighter deployment timing, missile engagement envelopes, a reconnaissance mission at hypersonic speed. 0343 hours. America changes strategy. The order came quietly. No kinetic intercept. A different weapon would be used. From deep within classified defense architecture, electronic warfare units activated experimental counter-hypersonic protocols. Space-based sensors synchronized. Signal warfare platforms powered on. This was no longer interception. This was domination of the electromagnetic battlefield. 0344 hours. Electronic strike without warning. The drone's telemetry signature flickered, then destabilized. A powerful directed electronic attack flooded its control spectrum. Navigation corrections became erratic. Altitude fluctuated violently. Inside Viper 2's cockpit, target wobbling, losing stability. For the first time since detection, the hypersonic intruder was vulnerable. 0345 hours. Loss of control. Somewhere far across the Pacific, drone operators attempted manual correction. Commands transmitted. No response. American electronic warfare had severed guidance links. Autonomous systems attempted recovery, but plasma interference increased. Flight algorithms collapsed. The drone began descending uncontrollably. 0346 hours, Final Decision Command issued the final order. Terminate vehicle before recovery. Viper 1 repositioned. Short range now. Target slowing rapidly. Missile lock achieved. This time, no escape maneuver came. 0347 hours, impact. The missile launched. Seconds later, a brilliant flash erupted over open ocean. Fragments scattered across miles of water. The hypersonic drone ceased to exist. Debris splashed harmlessly into the Pacific. Silence returned. 0350 hours. Aftermath. F-22 Raptors circled above the impact zone. Sensors confirmed total destruction. No secondary threats detected. Viper 1 transmitted calmly. Target neutralized. Back at Indo-Pacific Command, applause never came. Only relief, because everyone understood what had just happened. China had tested America's defenses, and America had answered without hesitation. Hours later, strategic message. Classified intelligence reports concluded, hypersonic penetration attempt detected, electronic warfare dominance confirmed. U.S. response time validated. Airspace integrity maintained. No public announcement followed. No press conference, but satellites watching from orbit recorded everything. The message required no words. The Pacific remained contested, but not undefended. Final line. The hypersonic age had arrived. And that night, America proved it could still unleash hell faster than anything entering its skies.